welcome to The Red Menace. We're a comedy news podcast that brings you stories from here, there, and everywhere. My name is Chris Bolson.
And I'm Alison Hall.
What have you been doing this week, Alison?
What have I not been doing this week? I'm always working. And working out my mental glands, watching great movies on Netflix.
Mental glands. I don't think I have any mental glands. If I do, they've been, melted over time just by the amount of shit I've exposed them to.
I feel like the content I watch is very, damaging to the mental gland.
You know how people will be like, you have, an inflamed thyroid gland, and I'll be like, I have a fucking inflamed mental gland. I just watched The Bachelor last night. My mental glands are so screwed.
Yeah, basically. Now, my mental gland has been tickled with a question that has come up recently in my watching. And that's in the canon of body swap movies. How does consent work if your body has swapped with someone else and someone else's soul is inside your body and your partner consents to intimacy with your body with someone else's soul in it?
Huh.
Because that is a question that has...
Well, I think if it's a different human being, and unless the partner knows it's a different human being...
Most of the time they do not, because the partner would not believe that some people pissed in a fountain and then their souls switched, because that's not something that generally happens.
In that case, that partner is being assaulted, I do think. I think that for that to work, for there to be a consensual arrangement in a body swap context, all three parties have to agree. Because for both of the body swapped people, not only is it their own mind, but it's also someone else's body. So you need to get, the approval of the person who owns the body as well. Sure,
and the approval of the person who is engaging in the intimacy with the body/soul of two other people.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got to get from the person who's engaging in it. You also need to get the approval from God, obviously. So you have to,
from
kneel
Jesus
down.
himself.
From Jesus himself. I hope all of you are doing that before you make... do the dirty things, because if you don't, then you are going straight to hell. I'm sorry. Do we want to start talking about stories?
Do you have a story to begin? Or should I start with one?
How about you start with one? I've got a few smaller ones, but I always enjoy starting with yours.
Well, I found, actually this kind of passed my Twitter feed last night, and this is from the Warrambul Standard. Which is from Warrambul.
I figured.
Where is Warrambul? Warrnambool? It's Warrnambool. That's the pronunciation of that place.
Okay.
I'm going to find out where Warrnambool is.
Okay.
But
can I bet that it's in rural Queensland?
You're close. It's in rural Victoria.
Literally not close. Was the opposite side of the country, but please continue.
Well, it's from the Warrnambool Standard, and basically someone had shared the headline of this story on Twitter, and they did not do the justice of linking the top piece of journalism that went along with it by, Walkley Award-winning journalist Brian Allen from the Warrnambool Standard. So I'm going to read the headline, because it basically tells the whole story, but there's more to it than it seems. So, a Warrnambool woman was trapped in a Tower Hill toilet cubicle on Thursday morning.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. And so the photo here is of the woman in question, Valerie Cameron, who is standing inside the toilet block in question, in front of the toilet cubicle in which she was stuck. And the toilet cubicle is now out of order as the door gets stuck, as she had to experience. Now, for context, when looking at this photo, you can see that this is one of those toilet cubicles which is very uncomfortably designed, in which the bottom of the door is about 50 centimetres off the ground.
Oh. Okay, so you're just kind of showing your whole business to the world a little bit there.
Right, where you kind of sit down on the toilet and you just hope that the toilet is a little bit higher than the, In saying that, no one wants to go on the toilet floor. But when looking at this picture, I think, I could probably go out underneath that door.
I could fit through there.
I could fit through there. Also, the roof of the toilet door is quite far from the roof of the ceiling. So if you did not want to go under,
You could climb that shit.
you could quite easily stand on the toilet and go over.
Okay. If you were, like, gymnastic enough.
If you were, but the walls are made out of like actual rocks, so you could like rock climb out of the toilet if you so wanted to.
Okay.
Anyway, I just thought I'd elaborate on the toilet cubicle that this woman was stuck in case you wanted to get a picture of how drastic her situation was. In this case, not that drastic.
It's not a great situation. It happened. I was at a bar with my friends Hannah and Emma, and shout out to Emma, got a little bit stuck in a toilet cubicle. And it was like kind of difficult because we had to get staff to come and help, and we had to get there was like a bucket she was going to stand on, and I was sort of, because it was the women's toilet, I was standing out in the corridor, and this weird dude came up to me and started chatting to me, and...
Oh, that's like worse than being stuck in the cubicle.
Yeah. He then started asking me about... First he asked if I was gay, and then he asked if my friends... my friends were an item. Then he asked if I wanted to have a threesome. And I was like...
Oh, no!
And then, here's the thing. He was one of those people where I couldn't tell if he was, like, homophobically making fun of me, or if he was, like, genuinely hitting on me, because he seemed extremely straight. It was very confusing to me, and I did not know how to respond in this situation.
Just like,
I just want to leave, but I can't, because my friend is trapped in a toilet.
How dare she get trapped in a toilet and put you through that travesty of a situation?
Emma, I don't blame you for that. I blame the weird dude, who I'm going to call Brian.
So in this story... Warrnambool woman got a scare on a Warrnambool. I think it's Warrnambool is the pronunciation.
I genuinely don't care. Let's just vary between the different pronunciations as we go along.
A Warrnambool woman got a scare on Thursday morning when she found herself locked in a toilet cubicle at Tower Hill Wildlife Reserve. At about 11 a.m, Valerie Cameron tried to turn the handle to unlock the toilet door. "I got quite a surprise when I couldn't unlock the door of the toilet," she said. A tourist from Melbourne was washing her hands in the toilet block at the time and went to report the incident to Tower Hill Visitor Centre staff. The tourist from Melbourne returned to the toilet block and helped guide Ms. Cameron as she crawled under the toilet door to get out. Visitor Centre staff had been dealing with a busload of tourists at the time of the incident, and a staff member was on his way to help Ms. Cameron just as she was walking away from the toilet block. The staff member talked with Ms. Cameron and contacted a park ranger about the incident.
What? How is this a news story?
How long do you think someone would have to be locked in a toilet cubicle for it to be newsworthy?
It doesn't sound like it was that long, is the thing. Like, how does the journalist find out about this? Like,
well, we'll get into that later because it seems like this woman has a lot of things that she likes to contact the local media and council about. It says here, now this is where I asked about how long. How long would you guesstimate that she was trapped in the toilet for?
Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, it was 10 minutes.
Like, it's not a great experience.
No.
But, like, I don't know if it's newsworthy.
So then we get into the deeper lore of Valerie Cameron, who is the woman involved in this incident.
Okay.
And now we've got another picture. So this is between where it says she told the staff member and she was in the toilet for 10 minutes. There's another picture here, and it's of the car park at Tower Hill Wildlife Park, where she was, and it's a picture of a pothole. And underneath the picture it says, "Concerned. Valerie Cameron wants this pothole in Tower Hill car park fixed properly." So now we've gotten into another situation that another qualm that Valerie has with this Tower Hill Wildlife Park, which is the pothole.
Valerie, I think, is a truly modern woman because she has, in this like media 24-hour news cycle age, she has figured out how to get shit done, and that's to complain about it to the newspaper, no matter the context or what it is. Like, I think that we should start doing this for other stuff. Like,
yeah,
there's so many different situations where this would be a really quick and efficient way of doing it. Like, if I say, like, I need a new doormat, and I talk to the media about that, I'm going to get sent a bunch of new doormats. And I think that, like, any situation can be fixed this way.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I want to get more into this because we'll slowly start to unravel the kind of conspiracy that I believe is behind this story as we get further into it. So she has a valid concern here. She said Ms. Cameron said she feared for people less mobile than herself in that situation because they wouldn't be able to crawl under the door, assumedly. Yeah. She said she was fortunate she received help from the tourist from Melbourne. Ms. Cameron has since contacted South West Coast MP Roma Britnell. She has also written to the Minister for Energy, Environment and Climate Change, Lily de Ambrosio.
I don't see how that's relevant, but okay.
Sure. So she's written to the Minister for Energy, Environment and Climate Change about this toilet situation.
How is that in that person's job description?
You're this, government minister and you open your email address and it's all in caps because absolutely Valerie writes all in caps. It's like, the toilet block at Tower Hill Wildlife Park is dangerous.
And then they're like, my job is to lower emissions. I don't know exactly what you think I'm going to do about this. Can I suggest buying a toolbox and fixing it?
What she does is what I do when I receive an email I don't necessarily want to look at. You kind of hover your mouse over the over the thing you click to read it, and you hover it there for a while, and then you click to another tab and you watch a YouTube video. you don't click you don't go and click that yet. And then she comes back later and closes her eyes and hits the delete.
Nice.
Because she does not want to see that.
What email? I never received an email.
What? You emailed me back? So anyway, now we get into the pothole situation, which was kind of teased earlier with the lovely pothole picture in which we were blessed.
Okay.
It says, Ms. Cameron said she was also concerned about a large pothole at the main car park at Tower Hill. She said she left a phone message for Parks Victoria about the pothole about 6 months ago, but never got a reply. The pothole is currently filled in with gravel. It has to be attended to properly, she said. So now, what I believe, Chris, is the toilet never trapped her. She could have got out of that toilet at any point, but she needed a stunt to bring attention to the pothole.
Interesting. I can see that. Can I propose, however, a counter-conspiracy that I think is also very plausible?
Sure.
And this one I like because it makes the government the villains.
Okay.
So Valerie is the next great activist, right?
Yeah, sure.
So
she's going to change the world with her, pothole campaigning.
She's trying to get this pothole filled in. The government does not want to do it. So this is actually a threat against Valerie. They've tried to contain her
so
in this
she can't
toilet.
Speak out about the potholes.
Yeah, they sabotaged this toilet to try to trap Valerie so that she
quick,
could...
Valerie's in the park.
She'll stop haranguing
Project
them about
Toilet.
the pothole. Project Toilet.
I like this.
You know what's great is that there has 100% at some point in the lifetime of the CIA been an operation called Project Toilet. And I don't know what it was about, but it fucking definitely existed.
When she was sitting down to do her business, there's an ASIO operative clinging to the ceiling who then puts down some initiates the trap and then has to open a little opening on the roof of the ceiling and crawls out like a little spider.
There has 100% been a situation where someone has, been assassinated by, they've gone to the toilet and they've, unzipped and they've opened it up and then someone has popped out of the U-bend with a gun and shot them. This little man has just emerged.
That's what they would do if Ant-Man technology really existed.
Oh my fucking god, it would.
They'd be using it to hide in toilets. Hide in wait when people are at the most vulnerable. So we're going more into the story here, and the MP that she's written to, Roma Britnell, has also gotten herself involved in this case. So it's
why?
Because it's a serious issue.
Jesus.
Southwest Coast MP Roma Britnell is calling for better management of Tower Hill, which she said is an international drawcard for the region. She said she is getting a lot of phone calls from people about the state of Tower Hill.
But from person. And she wants them to... From person, and she would like them to stop, please.
It says, it's getting a lot of phone calls from people. So that could be two people. That could be Valerie and her husband or wife.
Okay, interesting. So you think Valerie is, like, recruiting an organisation to, like, targetedly harass this MP?
Absolutely. Because you know what? You're right. She is an activist. She really wants this pothole issue sorted. But the government's not doing anything. And Roma Britnell perhaps was the one who organised the hit for Valerie in the toilet.
In response, Valerie is going to, like, dox her. And then in response to that, Roma's going to pop out of the toilet and shoot her.
Absolutely. Roma is the ASIO operative, which is crawling on the ceiling. I'm sorry for implicating ASIO in this thing, which had nothing to do with it.
No, it's a rogue ASIO agent that's been hired by Roma on the DL that has apparently Spider-Man powers and crawls along the ceiling to lock people in toilets.
Absolutely.
They must be stopped.
So in writing this news article, obviously the journalist, what was his name again? Brian has had to get some comment from Parks Victoria about this, which maybe was in reality Valerie's plan all along. Finally some attention is being brought to these issues she cares about. Then this is the comment from Parks Victoria Chief Ranger Michael Smith, which sounds like a fake name.
It does.
Definitely a false flag operative there. This is the quote. "We're sorry to hear that a visitor had an unpleasant experience and will be inspecting the toilet block and report of a pothole at Tower Hill."
If the visitor doesn't want any more unpleasant experiences, they will stop calling whatever her name was.
They will stop calling Roma Britnell. It's like, actually the name of this ranger is just Broma Bitnell.
She's gonna wake up one day and there's gonna be like a toilet stall door in her bed next to her.
And it's like, watch where you shit. Watch where you shit, Valerie.
She wakes up, opens her eyes, and there's a toilet seat on the pillow opposite her. And then it has written on it, "Watch out, Valerie. We're watching
and then, like,
you."
She goes into her bathroom, and written on the wall in like bright red letters backwards that she can only see if she looks into the mirror is the word pothole.
She steps into the shower and someone has dug a pothole in the floor of the shower.
She goes in, she checks her hair in the mirror, she sees the word pothole, she's horrified, she's sweating profusely. She decides to take a shower to calm herself down, and there's a pothole dug into the floor of the shower.
Alison, I think we need to be hired to stop, like, by the fucking right-wingers to stop these damned activists, because I think we'd be really good at it. Because
we'd be making just kind of horror movie style.
We just kind of, like, annoy them in a really aggressive way.
There's no... But then we go to, when it gets taken to court, they're like, Valerie's like, "I feared for my life." And they're like, "Well, how did you feel? What threats did they make?" And then she can't say anything because there was no life threats. It was just...
Plus, we can just say that it was for a YouTube prank, and that's like a legal defense against anything.
It's like just a prank, bro. And the officer's like, he dabs. The judge just dabs and, like, walks off.
Fuck, I would love if every time they hand down a sentence, like, they're like, "And you are committed to 5 years in court." Bang, dab. Like,
the judge doesn't actually bang the gavel. He just dabs.
"You have been sentenced to 69 years in prison." Dab, dab.
The thing is, every time I'm saying dab, I'm doing a little bit of a dab.
Oh, yeah, same.
But no one can, in fact, see this.
You can probably hear my, like, chair rattling every time I do it.
I may or may not have knocked my microphone at some point when I was dabbing. So that might be an experience you get to hear.
Okay, so this is a story that was submitted to me by someone who I forget. Oh, no, wait, no. Yeah, this was... I don't remember who sent me this, but it's very funny. So this is from esteemed source of journalism about to launch in Australia, Lad Bible.
Oh, please don't remind me. Do you know, I was on LinkedIn the other day just kind of browsing through the journalism jobs, and there were quite a few on offer at Lad Bible.
We lost BuzzFeed, we lost Vice, we lost HuffPost, but we got Lad Bible. What a great trade.
Just what everyone wanted. And like, I don't care what Lad Bible produces.
They're
just
named
the name
Lad
alone.
Bible is so objectionable.
It's just gross.
And this article is quite on brand for that name. So the headline is, man confused by 12-pound penis cleaner spotted in supermarket.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's very much in their style.
It's very on brand for Lad Bible.
It is. This does not have a writer attached to it.
Yeah, if I was a writer for Lad Bible, I'd want my byline very far away from any Lad Bible content.
We pretty much have a product for everything these days, don't we? Sure, sometimes they might be a bit unnecessary, but when it's a choice between saving a couple of minutes by drying and brushing your hair at the same time or not, we choose to save time. On Twitter, however, one Twitter user, however, didn't agree when he stumbled across a personal hygiene product from the independent brand Boners. Penis cleaner. Unsurprisingly, which does exactly what it says on the bottle, which certainly threw up a few questions for him. Addressing his Twitter followers, he posted a photo of the Intimate Wash, asking, "What is wrong with a bit of soap and water with a squirt of lemon juice?"
What? Sorry.
Hold on just a minute. Soap and water, fair game, but lemon juice, well, we have some questions now too.
Yes. Excuse me? I don't have one of those, but I can say that putting lemon juice on any part of your body is not ideal.
It's an extremely acidic substance, and that's a very sensitive zone.
Yes. Oh my... A squirt of lemon juice. Who is this man?
His name is Dean Murray. If you want to find him on Twitter, he's at DEVMAN33. The shopper went on to tag a string of bloggers and other Twitter users asking for their thoughts about whether they would try the Boners product. The replies were mixed, with some seeming intrigued, one desperate to sniff it, and one who was visibly confused, simply saying WTF. That squirt of lemon juice comment didn't go unnoticed, though. Thankfully.
Good. I would be absolutely astounded if everyone was commenting on the product and no one was like, wait, hold the fuck up a second. Lemon juice.
One user questioning both the posture's use of citrus products down there due to its stingy nature, and also what he puts on his pancakes? Wait, okay, I'm going to skip this bit. The original poster stood strong with his choice of natural cleanser, saying it's very refreshing, and telling him to knock it before he tries it.
Oh no!
I
don't. Well, personally, I can't try that. I don't have the anatomy to try that. However,
I imagine it would be similar to the female equivalent, and I can't imagine squirting lemon juice down there would be very pleasant either.
I can't think of any advice that says to put lemon juice down there.
I think he might be going for like that lemon-scented air freshener kind of thing, but like I think he'd be better off spritzing himself with like an actual air freshener and not spraying lemon juice on his dick.
It's very weird.
It must hurt so very badly. Maybe that's the point. Maybe he gets off on the pain. Like,
he could.
Maybe he's like, some people drink coffee in the morning. I squirt myself in the dick with lemon juice. That really wakes me up.
It's certainly a way to wake up in the morning. Not a good way. Not a good way.
That's honestly the entire content of the story. There's also a plug that you can buy Boner's Penis Cleanser on Amazon for £12.
Yeah, I don't really want to buy that.
No,
But also, I don't want to put lemon juice on my imaginary penis.
No, I can't imagine why you would.
Neither of those things... Like, how about neither of those options?
Do you have something?
I've got a few different stories. I'm just trying to figure out... Okay, so I've got 2 animal stories coming up. One of them is wholesome and one of them is not wholesome. Should we end on the wholesome content?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to go into the non-wholesome animal story now. And, well, this is a crocodile story, but it's not one that we are already aware of from certain events that transpired earlier this week.
Okay.
This is actually one from, I believe, about 3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
And this is also from the Northern Territory News. And this is about a video that has come out. And the video title, or the title of the article says, "Shark plays chicken with crocodile in Northern Territory's famed Adelaide River."
No, thank you. That's a combination of animals I do not need.
That's 2 animals that are quite known not to be friendly.
They're both animals that I strongly object to. This is like the Godzilla whoever wins, we lose situation.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, it's bad for humans. So this is by Will Zwar at the Northern Territory News.
Okay.
And it says, stunning footage of a shark playing chicken with a crocodile mid-feed has shown the ruthless nature of the Northern Territory's animal kingdom. The footage was captured by Darwin resident Jonathan Keller, whose first stop is the jumping croc tours when friends visit the top end. What?
I assume that's like a crocodile tour company.
Yeah, but this sentence, the footage was captured by Darwin resident Jonathan Keller, whose first stop is the jumping croc tours when friends visit the top end.
That should have been 2 separate sentences,
That
I feel like.
sentence did not make a lot of sense. Anyway, I've got some friends coming to visit my wife and I from Europe, and I take them to the croc tour to show them that I'm not messing around when I say it's dangerous and there is these things in the water. Mr. Keller
That seems
said.
like a weird way to start a holiday, is with your friend saying you could die.
It's like, enjoy your holiday to the Northern Territory. Come and see these animals that will fuck you up.
I just don't know if that's the energy I want to start my vacation with, is with like the threat of death.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people coming to Australia might want that threat of death because that's part of the Australian experience they were promised.
I realised the other day, I saw a video of an elk, like a big moose, and they're like 8 feet tall. I didn't realise...
They are very large.
So when people say our animals are scary, like, ours aren't 8 feet tall.
No. Crocodiles are quite short, in fact. They're just long.
Yeah.
So
And they're very sharp is the other problem.
yeah, and they're quite strong. Strong boys.
I went to the zoo in Sydney once, and there's like this crocodile enclosure where there's just one big crocodile, and there's a little thing where you can go into this little glass dome that sits in the water, and so you can sort of be like in the middle of it.
Oh, beautiful.
And the crocodile loves to just like sit right at the glass dome and kind of rest.
He's an exhibitionist. He loves showing himself off.
And he just kind of rests his face against it, which means you can get like centimeters from this crocodile's face. And
beautiful.
You know how normally when you look at like a cat or a dog in the eyes, like you can see like there's a nice little soul in there, like there's lots of stuff going on. With a crocodile, there's fucking nothing. Like,
I'm sure crocodiles have a soul.
It's
just
dead
not
inside.
a very good one.
All it has inside is evil and death. Like, I genuinely was very perturbed by the way this crocodile's eyes looked. I was like, this thing cares about nothing but eating me.
Well, on the other hand, I'd like to posit that perhaps the crocodile does have a soul, and his moral compass is that eating humans is good.
I mean, he's not wrong. I would just rather it not be me.
Now, my favourite thing about this article, right, is because there's really not that much to the article, because this article is just some guy made a video, and the video was quite the video.
Yeah.
And so the Northern Territory News journalist, Will Zwar, has had to add a little bit of content in here to make it a little bit more fun and creative. So he's gotten some screen caps from the video and he's added some little captions in there. The first one is just of the crocodile jumping for some food, and there's a little shark boy jumping out too. The shark is quite a little boy, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was like a big old great white fighting a crocodile. That
No,
was
it's
my
like
assumption.
maybe like a little baby bull shark, perhaps, I think.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Because if it's in the river, it would be a bull shark, would be my assumption. Based on my knowledge of the shark kingdom.
I believe you. I know literally nothing about the shark kingdom,
Well,
so
the
I will
thing is,
cede to your authority.
Most sharks live in salt water.
Yes.
Bull sharks can in fact swim in fresh water as well, which is why in the canals in Port Macquarie, there was a bull shark at one stage.
Oh, no thank you.
Or at least rumoured to be in there. I don't know if it was actually true. But anyway, bull sharks can swim up rivers and they have been known to go into canals and all that kind of stuff. So I'm guessing this is a bull shark, and it's quite a little boy, so it's probably a baby.
Can you imagine if you're in, like, Venice and there was, like, a shark in the streets?
The shark just made its way there. That would be great.
That's a movie idea right there. Why has that not been made? It's like... The poster is like someone on a gondola with the shark like leaping out to get them or something like that.
Pitch that to the makers of Sharknado. I'm sure they will make that.
I think I just might.
Yeah. So anyway, the first caption is just the picture, and it just explains what the picture is, quite straightforward. It says, screenshots from Jonathan Keller's video shows the moment a cheeky shark... Hang on. This has been very poorly subbed, because cheeky is spelt... Cheekty. A cheekty shark. My God, I thought I was just ripping on that sentence to begin with out of, out of pedanticism, but this clearly has not been subbed.
Sometimes when you're very tired, you make mistakes in your work and it doesn't get edited. Like the other night when I was working on a different podcast and I uploaded the final clip and I was like, hey, you guys, I've done it. And they sent me a message the next morning saying, Chris, there's 15 seconds of silence in the middle of this. Why is that there? And I was like, I was quite tired when I made this.
So this is why sub-editors exist. And this is why, you run things by people. But anyway, it shows the moment a cheekty shark tried to come between a croc and its meal on the Adelaide River. And then the next picture is of the follow-up of that one. And then he's decided to give the crocodile a voice. And it says, nearly got you, come back here. That's what the caption says. And then the last one says, you won't be so lucky next time.
So he's really anthropomorphized this crocodile as kind of a jerk. Which,
yeah.
Honestly, that tracks. I feel like crocodiles would be, real jocks. Like...
Oh, they would absolutely be jocks. But I feel like sharks would be not quite a jock. They'd be kind of like... the edgy, dangerous loner.
I think the shark is like the goth, but the scary one.
Yeah, the ones who smoke behind the toilets. And, they kind of a little bit... They're not like the friendly emos and scene kids that kind of hang out and pretend to do raves. But they're like the edgy goth kids that smoke behind the toilets and you feel a little bit intimidated by them.
Yeah, one of their boyfriends is a biker or something like that.
Yeah, and there's rumours that one of them may have stabbed someone with a pen at their old school and that's why they were expelled. But you don't know if that's true. You just know everyone shares that story anyway.
But you just don't want to find out.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with him. He could just be standing there minding his own business, but he may have stabbed someone at his old school.
So that's what a shark's like.
That's whereas crocodiles tend to hang out in groups, right? Yeah. They're not loners. They hang out in big squads of big boys.
And they wear
just waiting to bully people.
Wearing Letterman jackets.
Yeah, crocodiles are known for
in the locker room.
And they wear Axe body spray. They're known for that.
You know that every crocodile grows up to be a gross pickup artist. That's definitely a thing.
Anyway, so the article just kind of finishes up almost there. It says, his most recent trip to the Adelaide River was successful as he has had his friends His most recent trip to the Adelaide River was successful as he and his friends bit off a big piece of territory action. On the tour, they hang a piece of chicken to bait the crocodile to jump, but a shark jumped out of nowhere to try and grab some chicken, Mr. Keller said. It was not scared of the crocodile and just tried to grab a bite. The shark sort of scared the crocodile a little bit, but the croc ended up getting the chicken.
This article is genuinely quite hard to follow.
It's really not great. I'm assuming this was probably written pretty late at night.
Yeah, like I'm having to really pay attention to figure out exactly what's going on.
The wording is not awesome, but yeah, crocodiles and sharks. It happens in the Northern Territory.
Can I give you like one very short story from Otago
absolutely.
Daily Times and then one other one that's better from Otago Daily Times? I just really want to draw attention to this story from Otago, which is literally like one paragraph long. It just says, water in Otago Harbour near the Otago Yacht Club was temporarily discoloured yesterday by green dye. While it looked alarming, the Otago Regional Council said it was tracing dye used by the Dunedin Council and was harmless. The reason I draw attention to this is because the headline just says Greenday.
Why?
No context.
Just Greenday.
Just Greenday.
Well, I would click that article. I would hope that, like, on the social medias, they put the... in the social medias, they just put a picture of, like, Billy Joel, whatever... What's his name?
Haley Joel Osment is
Billy Joe something.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus, lead singer of Green Day.
But yeah, so that I think is just a beautiful piece of journalism, and I'm so happy and glad that it exists. Here's another story, which is Music Arts Festival with Burning Horse.
I'm sorry?
A private birthday celebration 3 years ago has turned into one of Southland's most exciting and original music and arts festivals. The second Burning Horse Festival is set to get Southlanders dancing from Friday through Monday, as it takes...
I'm not that familiar with New Zealand culture, but do they just dance around burning horses?
Apparently.
Is that a thing that happens in the place across the Pacific from us?
Well, apparently in Southland and Otago, there'll be a variety of DJs and acoustic acts. There'll be various art installations. There'll be food trucks.
Sounds fun.
There'll be food trucks to feed those attending, and the main attraction will, of course, be a ceremonial burning horse.
Of course. Of course.
Event organizer Zeb Harrell said the idea behind the horse burning came from a Swedish friend. We were just clearing sheds around the farm, and we had a bunch of old wood, and he made a Swedish horse sculpture before out of our hay. He wanted to build a wooden horse, and I wanted to build something to base around it. The 2 horse structures are being constructed, and both will be burnt over the course of the 3-day festival.
What is the... So... There's no, like, actual kind of symbolism behind that. His Swedish friend just came over and was like, I would like to build a horse. And that's my really bad Swedish accent.
And then that's extremely bad.
I would like to build a horse. And then,
It's German, but continue.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Because this guy, he could be German for all this guy knows.
That's true. But, like... This is essentially what they've done, is they've just created their own little New Zealand Burning Man, except it's Burning Horse.
They're like, we don't want to get copyright stricken by Burning Man, so let's build a horse.
Pretty much. Like, it sounds like quite a cool and interesting festival. Like, I'd go to it. But it's also
I just like the fact...
It's called Burning Horse.
I just like the fact that, you know, there could have been some kind of interesting symbolism to the horse, but no, it's just his Swedish friend wanted to build a horse and he wanted to burn it. And
he just wanted to set it on fire, and then he was like, we may as well have a music festival.
He's like one of those kids who, you know, when their little brother builds something out of Legos, he just kicks it over. That's who he was.
What if you built something out of Lego and your brother was like, I'm going to set it on fire and build an event around it? Like, what
let's make it Kick the Lego Music Festival. Where, like, the music festival's founder builds a nice Lego sculpture, and then the big brother of the music festival host comes over and kicks the Lego sculpture down.
But it's just like... I want to start my own music festival, and I didn't realise it was this easy to do. All I need to do
Until you saw Fire Festival, the documentary.
Well, that made it look quite hard.
All you need to do, though, is in that Evian story. That kind of tells you the plan of action.
So I need to get 2 skills that I need to, like, improve. One is I need to get good at, doing the nasty deeds with people who own water.
Who own Evian water, yes.
Who own Evian water. And I need to get really good at carpentry so I can build a sculpture to set on fire.
Absolutely. That's 2 things you need. And also you need some, like, Instagram celebrities to get behind it. So.
Maybe that's why Fire Festival didn't work out, because they didn't burn a horse.
No, they didn't burn a horse. And they didn't kick any Legos. So both of those things are not great.
Do you think that, like, brings good luck, setting a horse on fire? Like, you can't... You know that you'll be cursed by the gods if you don't burn a horse, so that, like, music festival, it wards off the evil spirits with the horse magic.
Do you think that maybe this is how, like, some kind of traditions start? Like, there's these traditions that have been going on for a long time, and everyone assumes they've got some deep meaning. But really, like, back in the past, someone just thought, hey, this would be funny, and then they did it, and then everyone was like, we'll never know the mysterious mysticism behind this. Like, maybe that's why Stonehenge was built. Some guy thought it would be funny just to leave some rocks in a field, and then now we're, like, trying to decode the mysteries of Stonehenge.
What if, when Jesus emerged on the 3rd day, instead of being, like, resurrected, he was just like, fucking prank, I fooled you all.
And then everyone was like, oh my god, Jesus, you're alive. And he's like, dude, I was never dead. He's like, you were dead, I saw you on the cross.
I did it for the vine.
And then he dabs and he walks off. Jesus emerges from the tomb and just dabs and walks away.
Then he sets fire to a horse.
Oh my god.
Do you have anything to close us out?
Can I finish with this wholesome animal story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I like this animal story. Okay. And this is about another animal and another, country town. So we've got Fred the emu adopts farming family and helps out with the mustering. And this is by Melanie Groves at ABC News.
Okay.
And essentially, the story is about a family who made friends with a wild emu.
Huh.
Which is quite a wholesome thing.
Sounds interesting.
Most people have a friendly magpie or maybe a kookaburra that frequently arrives on the veranda for bacon scraps. Not the MacArthurs.
I have a magpie that hates me and wants me to die. I've never met a friendly one.
I used to have a friendly magpie. He used to eat the dog food, basically.
Oh. It's rude, but okay.
Yeah, it is quite rude. Do you think that, like, okay, I said a lot of words there, like magpie and kookaburra and emu. Do you think people who aren't that familiar with Australian animals who may be listening to this are like, what the fuck are any of those words?
Okay, let's give a definition rundown. Magpie, evil black and white bird, has sharp beak, likes to swoop you.
Sure.
Kookaburra, like loud, pretty bird, laughs a lot. Is, again, very loud. Emu is...
Big boy.
Very tall.
Big boy.
Tall bird, long neck, weird legs, kind of like a dinosaur, can't fly.
Yeah, and like big holes in its head
like
where
an
its ears are.
Ostrich. It's basically an ostrich.
Like an ostrich, but with like a nice sandy brown hair, not like a, black dark.
Yeah, and if you go into the emu enclosure at the zoo, it just comes at you. And you go, I'm running away now.
You can, like, go into some of those wildlife parks where you can feed them, and basically you hold your hand out with the food in it, and it's like someone is repeatedly slapping your hand down.
Because its head is, like, on it's basically on a pendulum with its neck. Like, it winds up to, like, stab you.
It's like someone has gotten a hammer and just, like, banged it down on your hand.
It's an animal designed for, like, maximum force on zoo goers.
Yeah, exactly. When God created this one, he's like, what can I do to fuck up the kids at the petting zoo? So it says, a fortnight ago, an emu followed them home as they were mustering cattle on horseback at their central Queensland property. Follow-up point, I do not want to be followed home by any emus. No, I would be rather...
That's terrifying.
That would be not great.
Again, they have hammers for faces. Like, it can do a lot of damage to you if it wants to.
But anyway, this isn't an aggressive emu. This is a wholesome emu. It's a wholesome emu. Everyone was a bit cautious of him at first. He's a rather large bird. We felt a little anxious about it, Rob MacArthur said. Country folk are so, blasé about She's like, oh, he's a bit big. We were a little bit anxious.
He's taller than me, but, he just
He's
seems...
he's twice the height of my child, so we were a little bit worried.
We were a bit wary, but, we let him into our lives, and now he loves us forever.
Basically. It says, despite the unusual start to life with the MacArthurs, the emu, dubbed Fred by the MacArthur kids, seemed quite content with the new arrangement. Why do kids give animals such lame names?
I think I would probably also do that if I got to name an animal.
Would you name an emu Fred?
I'd name it Jonathan. I'd give it a normal human name, but maybe a fancier one than Fred.
Fred is a little bit, I feel like emus are quite, if they were in the human world, they would probably be in the 1%. They look like they're rich fucks.
Okay,
basically.
I would name
I said a lot of swear words in this one. I'm very sorry to your mom.
I would name the emu Jeff Bezos. And just refer to it exclusively as Jeff Bezos the entire time.
I'd give him a top hat and call him Malcolm Turnbull. Anyway, it goes on. And basically, my favourite part of this is there's a picture here, which I will explain to you. The picture involves 3 members of the MacArthur family standing from tallest to shortest, the tallest in the back, tallest in the back, shortest in the front. All of them are wearing blue jeans and farmer shirts that are tucked into their blue jeans. And they're all wearing beige akubras. And then next to them, on the right, is just the emu standing there.
Is the emu also wearing jeans and a beige kubra?
I wish! Unfortunately not, because that would be the greatest photo to ever happen.
Can you imagine, how people dress up their, dogs and cats in clothes, and you try and do that to the emu, and it's I'm fucking Pendulum Head. Don't you dare try to put that hat on me, I'll kill you.
Or maybe the emu would like it, because this emu, according to this story, basically just wants to be part of this family.
You put the hat on the emu's head and he's like, oh yeah, more weight, more momentum.
Momentum. Oh yeah. The humans will think I'm one of them now, says the emu, going into the corner shop to buy some milk for the MacArthur family.
This sounds like a very good, Netflix original sitcom.
About an emu trying to fit in with the human world after he got struck by lightning and gained sentience.
Exactly. I want the emu
Netflix commission this, please.
I want the emu to be voiced by, a genuinely famous person, like a Brad Pitt or something. I want it to be... Also, it needs to not be a CGI emu. It needs to, be the Marmaduke way, where it's a real emu, but they just edit the mouth.
So, or maybe the annoying orange, where the mouth is just, superimposed over it with, a human mouth.
What if we just superimpose Brad Pitt's mouth from when he did the voice acting? So we just film that.
I like your assumption that Brad Pitt is doing the voice acting for this emu.
Oh,
it's a good assumption.
He is.
Yeah, of course. So anyway, this is the worst part of the article now. I told you the best part, this is the picture. This is the worst part, and this is a subheading that's involved. Are you ready?
No.
Emusing behaviour.
Jesus.
Come on, ABC News, you can do better than this.
It's not acceptable.
It says, Professor of Ecology at Griffith University, Darryl Jones, was stumped by Fred's social behaviour. It's normal and sensible for most wild animals to be fearful of humans, he said, as we alluded to last week.
Yeah.
There are plenty of good reasons why an emu should be apprehensive about hanging out with people, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. This behaviour is not even slightly normal. This is very, 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 very unusual and totally intriguing, he said.
This emu can chill.
Yeah, he's like, this emu is fucking weirdo. Oh, how many times have I sworn this one?
This emu loves to party. It's super strange.
It's so weird. I just don't understand it. Why isn't it scared of people? Has it had some sort of interaction before which was positive, where people fed it or looked after it or something? That's something we'll probably never know.
No, it just went to a bush doof one time and some people gave it a joint and it got really into the music.
Yeah, basically.
And that was this emu's first people experience.
Now the emu's trying to hitch a ride over to the Burning Horse Festival in New Zealand. He heard about it on social media and he's like, nice, I could do that.
I can party with these folks.
Yeah, and that's
well, I
about
mean,
it to the
they're
story.
not burning an emu; they're just burning a horse.
No,
so it's very palatable.
And emus classically are rivals to horses.
Sure. let's wrap up. I think.
Okay.
That's a sign.
Right.
Thank you everyone for listening. I enjoy making this show a lot.
Me
we
too.
got a weird popularity boost this week from a bunch of people in the US. So if you're listening to this next episode, hi. I hope you like it.
Oh, also, I feel the need to recognise a special landmark in our podcast's history, which I did send to you on social media. But our listeners might be pleased to know that our episode 10, which is Alien Meat by Nando's, received 69 downloads on Podbean. Nice. So please, no one's allowed to download that one anymore.
Yeah,
if you want to download that one, you have to go to a different outlet to download that.
I will take that episode down.
It's banned.
Follow us on Twitter or Instagram. We're at RedMenaceCast. We post weird photoshops of the things from the episodes. I have no idea what I'll do for this episode. I will think about
we'll
it.
Make it happen. An emu wearing blue jeans and a farmer's beige hat.
That's very doable, actually. So, I have our final story for a final headline.
I'm excited.
This one's from altmedia.net.au, and it's by someone named Alison Hoare.
Oh, why are you bringing my...
It's by someone named Alison Hoare. I don't know who that is, but...
Oh, my God.
So the headline...
Please don't read my headline.
The headline is Light Rail Project Off the Rail.
Oh, I didn't write the headline.
Alison, the headline is Light Rail Project Off the Rail. By Alison Hoare, it says. It's weird. Who's that?
My name is attached to this, but I didn't write that headline. This is a little-known fact of journalism that maybe people who aren't involved don't know. 99% of the time, journalists don't get to have control over the headlines they write. And,
I don't know, Alison. It says by Alison Hoare.
It says
here.
Alison Hoare there. It says your name. Are you going to take credit for this pun? I did write a lot of puns about climate change in my climate change article. That was on me.
Well, yay hypocrisy, I guess.
They're great. We roast them with with love.
With love. Thank you for listening, folks.
All right, thank you.